All right, so today we're going to be doing frontside lip slides, which it seems like it's very, very similar to board slide, but it's one of those things when you go to learn it, it can be kind of awkward. And when I learned frontside lip slides, I had a flat bar that was under an awning at a church. And my run up was literally like 20 feet by 20 feet. So I had to kind of go corner to corner. So it was pretty awkward for me to learn how to lip slide a rail with such short amount of run up, which kind of showed me a way to learn this trick that, in my opinion, is by far the easiest way to learn this trick. It makes it so you understand how to clear your back truck a lot easier than if you just started going for it. But before we really get into that, I'm just gonna explain what a lip slide is. So a board slide is this. You're rolling at the rail backside and you're getting into a backside board slide. Lip slide, you're sliding a backside board slide, but you're coming at the rail front side. So instead of having to only clear your front truck, you have to ollie and clear your back truck, which means you have to ollie higher and have enough control over your ollie to sort of ollie-oop, which is when you're rolling at something front side and spinning backside, or rolling at something backside and spinning front side. You have to ollie-oop your ollie and get into the backside board slide, AKA a lip slide. It's called a frontside lip slide. So first things first, you want to be able to board slide your entire flat bar. Whatever it is, if you're going to use this technique, this hack if you will, you want to be able to slide the whole rail pretty comfortably. If not, you can also jump off if it's too long, which is what I did the first million times that I tried it. But anywho, the Keen Ramps flat bars are 7 foot, which is not that insane to try to slide the whole thing. It's definitely long enough that when you're doing a grind, you have plenty of time to feel the entire grind. But it's not so long that it's oh, if I try to slide the whole thing, it's gonna be the most effort ever. That will not be the case. So first, you wanna be able to board slide the entire rail comfortably. I'm gonna demonstrate that real quick. Just gonna start right here. That's all there is to it. Now for me, I kept struggling to get my back truck over. I would go to ollie into lip slide and I would kind of go like that, and then that would cause me to pop from really far away to try to make sure that my back truck didn't hit, but that would make it so I kind of came at it sideways real hard. And lip slides is kind of notorious for cracking and breaking boards because a lot of people stomp down on them. The person who's filming this, Haley Isaac, breaks boards on this trick all the time, mostly because she is huge. She's just the biggest person I know. She's very tall. She loves it that I'm saying this as she's filming. So here's how I figured out lip slides. First, I would board slide the entire rail, riding like a backside board slide, but riding extremely, extremely parallel. So, super parallel. Then I would try to do board slide, but kind of riding straight on. Almost like an over the back lip slide or board slide. And so that looked kind of like this. And that forces you, when you go straight over the back of the rail, to ollie the correct height for a lip slide. It made it way, way, way easier. So I'll show you how you might want to go about this trick if your rail's too long to slide the whole thing. It might look like something like this. You can go kind of slow. You ollie over the back of it. Get on, and you can just jump off. It's a pretty easy trick to bail. So once I did the straight on board slide lip slides on something that's preferably low, I would slowly start moving more and more this way, a little bit more to the ollie-oop side. So then it would look a little bit like this. It's straight on, but it's very straight on, but very, very much feels exactly like a lip slide, because technically it's a straight on lip slide. And since I'm coming from the front side, it's not even technically a lip slide. It is a lip slide. It's just the safest way for me to learn it. So then you can come even further to the side. And coming from there, there's no debating that it's a lip slide. I mean, it is a full-blown lip slide. I remember when I was first trying to figure this trick out, I would try to do front 180s over the rail. And I would try to come a little diagonal at it. And that is an okay way to learn how to get your back truck higher than your front truck for a lip slide. But in actuality, that kind of forces you to want to do the ollie from far away and slam down into it, and you could risk cracking your board. A lip slide is not a ollie high and slam down kind of trick. It's actually a ollie. You want your front truck a little bit higher than you probably would ollie for a 50-50, and then you just sort of twist into it. Your body weight does want to be a little bit like this, but not like this. You want to be like this, and then the second you get into it, you just level out and it just becomes a board slide. They're a pretty safe trick to do. The bailing factor for them is very similar to like a board slide, so I really like them. But anyways, once you get done doing the straight on lip slides, you got a couple of those under your belt. I recommend maybe trying to like hit like the last like foot of the rail. You know, you can kind of play with it, see how it's gonna feel by like throwing your foot on the ground, but in actuality, if you can do it straight over the back or a little bit from the side, ollieing over the end of the rail, like doing it in the middle, is gonna be really simple once you actually already did that. So that'll look like this. Quick little swerve in. I will say that this exact technique is how I learned backside lip slides too, but for that you definitely want like a rail that's gonna be like 7 foot long like this one, because it goes straight on for a back lip on a rail that's like 15 feet long and you can't slide it consistently the whole time. Can be a little bit dangerous. My rail at the time was 8.5 feet long, and it was I don't even remember what brand rail. It was like some random person that welded it together. But I did learn that the same technique going straight on. So if you're working on backside lip slides, you can kind of take a lot of these techniques and you know, sort of Frankenstein it together to figure out how it would work for backside. But I'll do a separate video for backside lip slides. Anywho, a couple other tips to kind of focus on to make this trick happen is to make sure that you can ollie over the rail you're learning this on very comfortably. Like you should be able to ollie, I would say at least a half a foot higher than the flat bar you're trying to learn this trick on, just for like super safety purposes. The danger of this trick is clipping your back foot on the way up as you're trying to get into it. But the rail that you're learning on, I'm assuming, is just like a little flat bar. So it's not that gnarly of a fall. Just that's the big fear. It's like you go like this and then you just like stumble or whatever. But in reality, it's really not that dangerous of a fall. It's quite similar to falling on a board slide. The other thing is on backside board slides, I feel like people tend to slip backwards because they lean too far in the back seat. Whereas with lip slides, I feel like since people are overcompensating so much with ollies, a lot of times they'll stick and fall forwards and run out of it. So try to really focus on when you're getting into this lip slide to really stay like balanced. I don't feel myself when I'm doing a lip slide very much like this, and I definitely don't feel like I'm like this. I do feel very like I'm pretty standing straight up, if anything, ever so slightly a couple degrees back, but not much. You do want to aim for the middle of your board. If you do get into it and you slide all the way over here, you can still hold on. I see a lot of people try this trick, and the second that their board does some weird stuff, they jump off. Board slides and lip slides and any sort of in the middle of your board type trick is extremely, extremely forgiving. So just hang on to the end of the rail. Lip slides is one of my favorite tricks to like kind of throw down handrails in general, because you get to roll out at frontside, which is more comfortable for me, but in reality, you're just sliding a board slide. Yeah, it's a good all-around trick. I don't know, is there any other tips that you think you could add, Haley? Anything that you do to do lip slides?
Be light-footed.
Be light-footed, because your board will break. I guess you do kind of light-footed. For me, I focus more about like, once I do a couple of them, I just try to be very, very like, not too high over the rail. Just because you want to be able to ollie a half foot above the rail to learn this trick doesn't mean you want to ollie a half foot above the rail to get into this trick. I try to really like similar to 50-50 height, maybe slightly taller, like an inch or so, and then just whip into lip slide. And I haven't broken a board on a lip slide probably since I learned them. And the cool thing about this straight on technique is that since it's so similar to a board slide, your body weight's not going to be like banging into the rail. It's going to be exactly like board slide. So unless you're board sliding and breaking your board doing board slides, which if that's the case, you need to work on that, because that should definitely not be happening. You probably won't be cracking board sliding this trick if you start off with this technique and transfer it to rolling at the rail front side. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is a Keen Ramps rail. We do try to teach you all of the tricks in our tutorials on our obstacles, so you can literally purchase the exact rail, ledge, quarter pipe that we show you how to do the trick on. So you can literally have this exact flat bar, this exact dimensions, to learn any tutorial that we do. And we're doing about 2 tutorials a week, sometimes more, as often as we can. We haven't really missed any yet. So I'm gonna try to cover all the basic tricks as well as a couple unconventional tricks. I did board slide hurricane. You can go to our YouTube page and see some of the other stuff that we do. We got some other requests coming up. So if there's a trick that you want to see specifically that you're working on, leave it down in the comments and we will try to get to it. We can pretty much do any sort of obstacle from flat ground to half pipes, whatever you're working on, let us know and we will try to get that tutorial to you as soon as possible. Until next time, just go to keenramps.com and you'll be able to buy any of our products there. If not, I hope you learned something from this video. Have a good day.